Hello friends, why Army of the Dead is a very good entertainer. Now, the basic story of this movie is not something completely new. It's a zombie movie mixed with a heist movie. They're trying to take some money from a casino in Las Vegas, which has been quarantined due to the spread of the zombie virus. Now, even then, this movie is successful in keeping us entertained. Now, if we look at the reasons, the first reason I feel is that there are no unnecessary jokes. Now, in some movies, mainly in the superhero movies, the Avengers or the Marvel movies, we can see that in some serious scenes they add some humor elements in it, which makes it kind of a weird scene. Now, for example, in the 2012 movie Avengers, there was a scene in which Loki is talking seriously about something, and then all of a sudden Hulk comes in and beats him. Now, that scene worked out pretty well, but over the years, this kind of adding humor in serious scenes has been overdone in some of the movies, some of the big movies, which leads to that scene becoming a weird scene, neither a serious scene nor a comedy scene. Now, when something like that happens, I lose the interest in that movie. That scene becomes a very weird scene. Now, this can be compared to the self awareness or the self aware dialogues or self aware jokes in movies. In many movies, the characters talk and act in a certain way, which shows that which shows that they know that this is a movie, and these are all characters, that they are not real people, they're just actors. These characters are not real. So when these kind of dialogues or action happens, they take us away from the immersion of the movie. We, for a moment, we feel that this is not a real thing. We are watching a movie, we are watching these actors, the characters are not real. So I don't like that kind of jokes or self-aware dialogues. In Army of the Dead, such kind of dialogues are not there. It's the tone of the movie, the tone of a serious scene would be kept serious all throughout, and when they would just want to add a comedy or in it, they add it in such a way that the overall tone is not going up and down, it's maintained altogether. This movie does have comedy, but it's not a self-aware comedy, or it doesn't come in inappropriate moments. Now, that's one of the reason why this movie worked for me. Now, the second reason is it doesn't try hard to make a cinematic universe or make sequels or prequels or things like that. It says only the story of this movie. It doesn't give a whole big setup for the coming sequels or prequels, which is actually very good, because in many movies, the superhero movies, they show scenes in which it's basically like a setup, like a 2 hour long setup for the coming sequel or prequel. Some people may call it, it's like a 2 hour trailer for the upcoming movie. They don't do that. An example would be Godzilla versus Kong, in which many long scenes were dedicated to setting up the upcoming sequels or cinematic universe, other movies coming in the same cinematic universe. Now, this movie does not do that. This movie focuses on its own story and focuses on telling only that story. There are like maybe one or two instances where they try to set up a sequel for this movie, but it's not overdone. They basically concentrate on the story of this movie alone. Now, the third reason would be the action scenes. The action scenes are done in a very good way, and it is there's a lot of violent scenes in it, which so many people may not like it, but I still feel the action scenes are very nicely done. Given the nature of this movie, it's a zombie movie and it's an action movie, so this kind of violent action scenes are actually justified, I feel. So these are the reasons I feel why this movie has been a good entertainer. What are your thoughts about this?